Prepare to be astounded, bedazzled, and otherwise stupefied.
What? I gotta say, I would say this is one of my favorite Batmobiles in that movie. Like, it's just Batman Forever. This is like the Batmobile in it is just it looked cool. Like it and like in terms of like futuristic tech in the like movie itself, they had a backwards camera in it. I've never seen like in terms of old movies. Like I don't remember any movie doing a backwards camera like back then. And now we have it. Like that's in terms of genius. That movie starts it off with that movie. Like it's genius.
Yeah, I just didn't like the scene where it's the chase and it looks like they're going like 10 miles per hour. It looks so slow. It was almost like
It looks
that slow chase scene in Boba Fett.
it looked better than that though for
It,
me.
it,
It looked 10 times better than that shit. That shit was bad. That was bad. Those motherfuckers are on red, blue, and yellow scooters like the fucking Power Rangers. And it should look bad. This just looked like a movie that was like that chase scene just looked all right. This is normal, right? This is normal shit right here.
for 1995,
Where
yeah, probably.
compared to this, like now, like we have so many of like so many things we could have done better with this. Like even having it all be like green screen or just all let it be CGI or just like there's so much they could have done with that scene, but it just looked like they were on like you ever seen one of those playground sets where they're on the little horses and they're just rocking back and forth.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's exactly what it looked like. Like they were just on those little things, just like shooting and like making expressional faces. Like it was just bad. It was just bad. Whereas like this one made sense for the time period it came out. I was like, all right, fine.
Well, yeah, I mean it was on a set and it had, you know, but it was really slow. Slow to me. But well, hello and welcome to Shitbox of Theseus number 4. And today we're talking about Batman Forever. And with me is Blantanoise. How you doing, bud?
What's up? What's up? Ha ha, bitches. I said
Uh-oh, I said bitch.
bitch.
Demonetized, no money.
Nah. Yo, Kenny, what's up? What's up? What's up? Do this.
Um okay, so out of all the actors who have played Batman, who is the worst?
Put George Clooney bottom. I'd
George.
put this one. I'd put this one like I don't know where I'd put this one, but I wouldn't put him top. But I wouldn't put him bottom bottom.
Val Kilmer's just somewhere in the middle.
Yeah,
He's
he.
middle
I
tier
think his.
Batman.
I think his like portrayal of being Bruce Wayne wasn't terrible. Like it wasn't bad.
Yeah, but
Being
it
Batman.
wasn't particularly good either. But I see what you're saying. Um, this is my biggest like grievance with this movie is that like you have a phenomenal cast. Val Kilmer in his prime, you know, coming off Tombstone and all these good movies and stuff. And then, you know,
Mhm.
you got Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey, Nicole Kidman, Chris O'Donnell, like this movie should have been fucking epic. Like but instead is one of the goofiest movies I've ever seen for like a
See, I
superhero
don't know about
comic book
Goofy
movie.
though.
Goofy as in like the superhero comic movie genre. Like it's so fucking goofy.
See, like I think what the movie does, like for me, like what the movie tries to do is like it's a serious, like it's supposed to be like serious characters, and like you could tell from each part of the movie, like each one of the characters are trying to be serious, and they're taking it for real, but they're written as goofy as hell. Like Edward Nygma to me was like, I didn't have a problem with how he was portrayed. Like any other portrayal of him, whether you watch the new one or new The Batman, or you watch any of the other like Edward Nygma like takes on it, like they're like serious and kind of goofy. This one was like this is a goofy take on a psychopath.
Yeah, I mean, and there were a few moments where like the psychopath part came out, but and there was genuine points where Jim Carrey, like, he's a pretty good actor, but like I think they let him be too much Jim Carrey in the movie.
Hmm.
Like I feel like a lot of the comedic points were all him improv, and they just kept it and they're like, all right, Jim, like whatever you want. Um, I think the most annoying thing is Tommy Lee Jones as Two Face. Like,
Really?
oh, I loathe this version of Two Face and this portrayal of Two Face. All right, and I'm gonna explain why. Okay, the opening of this movie is really not bad. Like,
Yeah.
Batman shows up and like he flirts with fucking Nicole Kidman's character, which it's weird.
Yeah.
Okay, chicks like the car. It's the car, right? Chicks like the car. That's something Batman would say. Okay. Um, and then yeah, he goes to stop this, bank robbery heist and whatever, and you see Tommy Lee Jones' Two Face for the first time, and like it was really cool. And then he just went fucking ballistic on this role. Like honestly, when you watch it, think about him, but as like trying to be Jack Nicholson's Joker, and they be identical. The laugh, the manic, just like bombastic kind of approach to this character, like that's not really Two Face, and they added
I
some aspects of it, but it's fucking stupid.
I will say the most annoying part for me was the fact that like Tommy Lee Jones's character just kept getting away. Like in like most Batman movies, most like superhero movies, like the villains they get away, but this one was kind of like, yo, how have you not caught this man? He's tried to kill you personally several times, and you haven't caught him the whole freaking movie. Like some of those instances were like, what? Like how have you, like this dude keeps getting away with trying to kill you? Like he's not stealing money until he meets the Riddler. But like even then, like he doesn't catch him. There's no attempt to catch him. Like he's not Batman in those roles. Like these two dudes are stealing shit, and he's still not doing anything about it.
Yeah, he's flirting with fucking Chase Meridian, I think is her name, the doctor, Nicole Kidman's character.
After Chase, yeah.
Yeah, so like, he's too busy doing that and like adopting grown ass men. Um, No, I want to talk about another goofy part. It's something that's always like stuck out to me, even when I was a kid and I watched it. And I really liked this movie when I was a kid. Um,
Hmm.
the scene where it's like the flashback of how Two Face became Two Face, and
Yeah.
it's just Batman sitting in court. Like I can just imagine like the prosecution would like to call Batman to the like like it's a crowd full of people. It's just Batman in the bat suit. Like, how did he get through security? Like, this Batman gets special. He came in the back. I found my own way in. Like,
Because they could. It's just a lot of those scenes. I feel like could have been cut from the movie. Like I just.
okay, no, the lack security makes more sense because that crime boss who threw the acid, like he brought acid to court. Like he didn't bring a gun. He didn't bring a knife. He brought fucking acid. So like if he could bring that in, then yeah, sure, Batman, like whatever, dude. Like we let anybody in with whatever's in their pocket, no big deal.
Oh my god, it's yeah. I don't know. It's just Tommy Lee Jones is Two Face. I didn't have a personal problem with it. I think he was a lot more. What's the word? Like he was just very like exaggerated.
Yeah,
But
and
this
that's
was the
that's what I mean. Like he was literally trying to be Jack Nicholson's Joker. And no, do you know about the behind the scenes thing? Behind the scenes thing. That's hard to say. With Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey.
no.
Oh, they hate each other. Or at least Tommy Lee
What?
Jones fucking hates Jim Carrey.
Really?
They hated working to each other, and like you really see it in their scenes together because they're trying to outdo each other. It almost feels like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's no chemistry. There's no chemistry between the two. There's like when even when they were working, the first part where they're like trying to work together makes sense and their chemistry is not there. But when their chemistry like when the scene when like Bruce goes into the like the little like what is it mind reader and like he's like what are you doing here and like that scene didn't flow well like it felt like it didn't feel like they were at odds as like characters they were more at odds as like actors.
Yeah. It's really, I think that's hilarious. And I think it's hilarious because it really shows in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And
It
like you
really
said, the
does
lack
show.
of chemistry. I mean, like that's kind of a trend with the Joel Schumacher Batmans is like no chemistry
Yeah,
with
it's
anybody.
it's it's a problem. It's a real heavy problem, but like I didn't think that. I didn't. To me, this movie was like it was good. It was decent for its time. I can't say good. I can say decent for its time because of like I don't know, like a lot of the moments in the movie, I just felt like they some of them were really good and they really harped on the fact this is a Batman movie,
Yeah.
unlike the George Clooney one.
Yeah. Well, are you familiar with the old Adam West Batman? Batman 66?
Oh yeah,
This movie
yeah, I used to
and
watch that.
Batman and Robin are like direct homages to those because you got the Dutch tilt camera angles and like just the
Hmm.
goofy over the top set designs and pieces and dialogue and everything. I mean, you even get Robin saying like, "Holy rusted metal, Batman!" Come on now.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah,
I
let's
the
let's
scene where
let's. T-
Batman's running though, it's
oh god, that's
but
let's talk about Robin. So Robin is, he's with his family in the, flying trapeze thing at the circus, and then, Two Face cuts the nets and they die, and he saves the circus by throwing the bomb, whatever. So, like, this is a grown man, and Bruce Wayne just adopts him. Like, the choice in this, because I don't think Chris O'Donnell's bad. I think he was just the wrong choice for this role. Like,
yeah.
they should have just got like a 15-year-old kid. They should have got the kid who was John Connor in Terminator 2.
Was he a kid? It's been a minute since I've seen that movie, but I
Well,
think I know who you're talking about.
let's see. T2 came out in 1992, 91, 92. I'd say he was maybe like 12, 13 or so. So this would be, yeah, dude, like a 15, 16-year-old Dick Grayson as Robin. Like it would make sense for Val Kilmer to, and like it would really like that should have been the story, is like Bruce Wayne struggling with his, of course, the death of his parents because it's Batman. It's not Batman if it's not. Um, and the whole story is like, oh, he sees a kid who went through something similar, and he understands his pain and his anger, and like, you know what I mean? Like takes him under his wing, and like that should have been the movie.
Yeah, I think it's because to me, this movie tries to do like it tries to be that it tries to be the movie that I kind of want now in our Batman movies. But like this one was like he's been Batman for however many years. He's already been in this role. Like this is like like to me the movie's trying to tell you that he's kind of moved past it until like you get to like more like after like maybe the climax and like more closer to the end where it's like, okay, this dude is Batman for a long time, but he's still dealing with that grief. And that part where he brings in the kid, you don't feel that moment because like the movie doesn't like get you into it really. It's like it's now just
Yeah, it
like
just kind of just
after he
happens. Like,
yeah.
okay, and what was your thoughts when you rewatched the part where he's like doing the karate laundry? Like,
I
how did
feel like
how did that like sit with you?
I felt like it was just put in there. Like it was like a random like it was like one of those like scenes that you just put in there. Like yeah, so cool, so dope, amazing. But why is it in there?
I watched like a video about it a few years ago, and like someone brilliantly commented saying, "Crouching Tide, hidden Clorox." Like, why was he doing all that with his like laundry? Like, I don't understand. And like
I
that's the reason. Like, oh yeah, he knows That's how you introduce that. Like, he knows martial arts. You know what I mean?
I yeah I the only I when I'm after I kind of had a second to think about it, I was like, okay, that's a decent way to kind of get Alfred to be like, oh, he can protect himself or like he's this cool. This kid's pretty
He can
cool and
throw socks
good at
around really
something.
fast. He'd be great.
Other than that, to me, that was I can't get back. Like I can't say like it was trying to make the crowd like trying to be like, oh, he's cool. Like to me, it was trying to tell Alfred, yo, this kid's good at something.
Yo, this guy does our laundry really cool. Master Bruce, please check this out.
Yeah, I don't. I there's a lot of things with that Robin. Just like you said, I think they could have chosen another person. It will, and everything would have made a lot more sense. But this was a grown ass man acting like a child.
Yeah, and like that's another thing is like his personality was just like whiny and like almost kind of like just like spoiled brat kind of like bratty. Like the role
Hmm.
should have been a 15-year-old like hormonal teenager instead of like a 28-year-old grown ass man. Like that's adopted by like a 30 whatever, you know what I mean? Like it's just so weird. It's not even like I adopted you. You're just like, hey dude, you just want to be like my roommate? I have this big mansion and a butler. Like I'm uh and that's what I mean by like my biggest grievance is like the potential this movie had with all its resources.
I think if they were gonna put a kid like this in the movie, then they should have just went straight to the Nightwing, like like phase or hero, because like they mentioned it, and I was like, okay, that probably would have been better for how old he is. It would have been a Nightwing, and like then you can kind of transition those kid like moments or like
Yeah,
adopted like
yeah, but it
kid
wouldn't.
moment like within
But
it.
the sequel wouldn't be called Batman and Nightwing.
It should have been.
It should have been. No, I get what you're
It should have
saying, but like even as Nightwing, I just Chris O'Donnell, like no,
been.
I have nothing to.
He
I have no.
reminded me of a
You might even
he
what?
reminded me of a worse actor, like a worse actor than Chris Hemsworth, and he looked like Chris Hemsworth when he was young, but he wasn't better than him in my opinion.
Oh no. And like I think I remember Chris O'Donnell in a movie called Cliffhanger. I don't remember it being that bad. So I really think it was the script because like it's not just him that's bad. It's damn near everybody in this movie and their dialogue and pretty much their
Yeah,
performance. It's just bad.
did you know Drew Barrymore was in it?
Oh yeah.
I did it. I was like when I watched it, I was like, holy shit, she was in it.
Do you want to have a mind blowing moment? Because I got
What?
you. Guess who is in the scene where Bruce Wayne is meeting with the other scientist, like almost right before Jim Carrey's Edward Nygma comes in and asks him about the brainwave. One of the people, the assistants, is Jon Favreau.
No.
I swear to God.
No.
Yeah.
No.
The only reason
Yeah.
why I knew is because he looks there's a movie I think from 93, I could be wrong, called PSU. It's like a college frat house movie. It's a comedy. It's pretty funny. And he was in it and he had like those like short dreads, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And like but he looked so similar like face wise that I saw it and I had to look it up and immediately I was like, holy shit, Jon Favreau, assistant number 2.
What?
Yeah, I thought that was cool.
Holy shit.
I
They
told,
wasted a good actor.
well, I
Mm.
mean, like at that time he was I don't know. I don't think he directed anything. I think he was just like a small time actor. I'm not
Yeah.
sure. I should look into the career of Jon Favreau. I think that'd be interesting. Is
I
that
mean,
an
after
interesting
watching this
one?
movie, it makes you want to look into the side characters. There's like I like Nicole Kidman like as like that she's in it, but she feels kind of random put in place. Like usually when you put a female like character like this, she like in there for a reason.
Right,
Like
like she has like almost no bearing on the story whatsoever. She's really there to just like want to suck Batman's dick. And like
I
Batman, not Bruce Wayne. And that's the conflict
I
with it.
she's in it just for the scene of bringing him back to being a child, of being in that moment where his parents died. That's the only moment she's kind of there for.
And
Like,
yeah, I guess. But I like that could be rewritten where that it just happened. In fact, my friend who might be showing up here uh showed me a deleted scene from this movie where like he has like a vision type thing and he sees like a man bat, like a big ass fucking bat right in front of him. And it's like practical.
see, when you say that, it just reminds me of the end where like Jim Carrey is in his little straight jacket outfit, and like I'm Batman,
I'm
and
Batman.
starts laughing.
Isn't that great though? Like
I, it's just,
like Jim Carrey was so
but
fun in this movie, but like I really felt with a better script, like he would be an amazing Riddler. Like where he
oh
doesn't have to
yeah,
be over the top, you know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
Because the dude's
He
got
had a lot
acting
of the
chops.
scenes. Yeah, there were scenes where I was like, I felt like he was Enigma. He was like he was almost there. Just the writing could have been better.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, and like I said, it goes across the board for everybody. All the writing in total and the character writing is it's absolute ass.
Oh, it's complete ass. It's like I tried to like there were scenes where I forgave and I was like I was enjoying. I still enjoy them. I'm still enjoying it. But like it was a couple scenes that I felt kind of out of sorts, especially the scene where like what was it the not the circus scene, the when he steals the Batmobile scene for what's his name, Robin or Dick Grayson, or if they called it Richard,
Did they call him Richard?
they called him Richard.
Oh, probably because they just didn't want to say Dick.
Oh, they called him Dick in some scenes, but they
They had
kept
a
going
lim
back with Richard and Dick.
They had to like limit how many times they called him Dick in the movie to like keep the PG-13.
But some people's names are Dick, so how is that not PG? Like I can't. It's just uh. And
Like, hi,
then
I'm
was it?
Penis Grayson. Nice to meet you. My friends call me Peen.
Yeah, I didn't understand the beginning for me. Like the beginning, I liked it, but like the acid faint
Oh,
scene.
the part where the security guard's just like, it's boiling acid. Like,
Acid.
the way he says it, it's like, oh my god, it's really for the audience to understand that it's acid when like a
Then
visual
his
cue,
glasses fall off and then go in it.
right? So like, but they just had to have
I
the
did.
security guard say it's boiling. Like, oh my god.
I think the actor they chose for that was bad because he just gave off bitch vibes, and I was like, how is he a security guard? Like, how is like, and like, I wait, so wait, like, why was it? So the bank was like acid proof, so like, even though it was acid going down, like acid can't like burn anything else. Like, that's why I was confused. I was like, wait, like, how
Right.
is this working? Like, why? How was the water pouring, like the acid pouring in, if it's not connected to anything?
Well, I think they do that purposely because you don't see what it's connected to, like what's funneling the acid in it. Because
Yeah, but
they
like
this
they take it out.
yeah, I don't yeah, didn't they just like cut the scene and it's like okay, like it's over.
Yeah,
You don't
like
see what actually happens to the
like I don't understand like what happens like when you open that safe like that's acid pouring out. Like I have so many more questions about that acid
Yeah, what
coming
are they
just
gonna do with they probably just put it on a truck and then take it to a place that can dump the acid in or something. Or
hmm
it's Gotham, so they'll probably just give it to like Arkham, and Arkham will, Joker will use it for something or other.
Yeah, another thing that kind of got to me about this movie was the fact that Batman technically is killing people in this movie.
Oh, dude, Batman kills everybody in every movie.
But
I
this
don't,
one's kind of like,
I don't know. Do you remember the Michael Keaton in Batman Returns when he puts the bomb in one of those, in one of the bad guys' pants, and then like does a creepy Batman smile, and the dude blows up?
yeah,
Or
yeah,
when he sets a
yeah,
dude on
yeah, yeah.
fire with his car? Dude, Batman
Yeah, but
Returns is metal
this
as
one was like,
fuck.
this one was like, there was a car chase scene. He goes up the wall, and the rest of the cars crash into the wall, and all those cars catch on fire and kill at least however many, like four guys in each car.
Right. And it's just casual Val Kilmer Batman.
and
No, but yeah, every
I,
Batman fucking kills somebody in every movie.
but Jesus Christ, this one, I don't know. For me, this one was kind of like glaring. Like
I don't know.
I don't remember him killing all those people.
You really should go back and rewatch Batman Returns. Like he's barely in it, but when Batman is in it, he kills people. And again, he does a creepy ass Batman smile. That's another thing we could talk about. The creepy Batman smile that Val Kilmer does in this fucking movie. Like, it's one of the creepiest things I've ever seen in like a superhero movie. I'm not gonna lie. Like, there's some things some characters should and should never do. And one of the things that Batman should never do is smile. Like, that is the opposite. His parents are dead. Like, he has nothing to smile about.
He does because he's about to get laid by Nicole Kidman in the movie as dressed as Batman.
She's just like, keep the mask on.
She was just sleeping buck ass nude, and this dude was like, he was like, "Yep,
He
I'm about."
sleeps with the mask on, like the him at court scene.
It's just,
It would be funny if like Chase Meridian like knows it's Bruce Wayne but doesn't tell Batman that he knows that he's Bruce Wayne. So like to keep up the charade, it's just like I don't want to deal with Bruce Wayne. I just want fucking Batman.
I just that then the entire like relationship with Nicole Kidman, who's Dr. Chase, who's in love with Batman, says she's in love with Batman almost the entire movie, and then when she's like buck ass nude, about to fuck Batman, she's like, "Nah, I'm in love with this other dude." But you, nice to meet you though. Bye.
Bye. Oh, okay. And that one time when Batman like comes to the bat signal and like she sneaks up on him. Like, did
Yep.
you have a problem with that? Because I fucking did.
I didn't have a problem with that. I had the problem with the fact that like she was able to turn on the light so easily, and then the cop came upstairs and was like, "What did happen? Why is
What?
the thing on?
Wasn't he wearing
I'm like,
pajamas or
oh,
something?
nothing. Yeah, he's wearing pajamas
Like, are you
and
sleeping
she's
at your?
in a nightgown.
Did your wife kick you out, Jim? Like, do you have to sleep at the
Is that
office
Jim
now?
Gordon?
Yeah, that's Commissioner
I don't remember.
Gordon.
I don't remember them calling him Jim Gordon.
Dude, ironically enough, the actor who plays Commissioner Gordon is the same in all four movies. From Batman
No.
'89 to Batman and Robin. Yeah, him and Alfred are the only two actors that were in all four as the same character.
Holy shit.
Isn't that cool? I mean, Commissioner Gordon
I,
is a
I,
joke in the quadrilogy.
yeah, I think this is the only time he's technically really a joke. He's just, he's not, I guess he's not a good cop in this movie, he's not a good cop at all. Like, he's really bad at his
Dude, the
job.
police in this Batman universe of the four movies, they are the worst cops. Like, even the Dark Knight Rises cops, as stupid as they were better than that.
I don't know. They went into one hole.
Let's sound 3,000 of our police all at the same time to go under. That is the most illogical thing you could ever do. Like, cops would never do that. That is
Your entire police force.
insane. Yeah. Your entire police force under, like, and like I remember saying this shit and then people are like, dude, Dark Knight Rises is amazing. I'm like, okay. Okay. Whatever you say.
Well, I mean, it's like as a person who's watched the Batman Forever, Batman and Robin, Batman Returns, like I guess you can say it's probably the best Batman movie out of all, those three movies. It is the best Batman.
Dark Knight Rises?
Yep,
It's the best of that trilogy.
not the best out of what this out of the Dark Knight trilogy or out of like the ones that just named and then you put that one on it just because you want to put that one on it. I say that one's the best out of those three that I just named.
Out of Batman Begins, Dark Knight, Dark Knight Rises, you're saying Dark Knight Rises is the best.
Oh no, not that. I'm
Oh,
saying
okay. Oh, are you talking about the other four?
of the other four, yes,
Nah, dude.
it's the best.
I love Batman '89. I love Batman Returns. So don't get me wrong, but that one's got
Oh yeah,
it's got a lot of problems, like a lot of problems. But I love
I,
Batman '89.
Batman '89, and then afterwards, it's just you see them trying to like. To me, it seems like all those movies are trying to make bank more than just trying to be moved.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean Batman '89 really opened the floodgates for like superhero movies. I mean, you could say Superman, 10 years earlier and stuff, but like Batman was a bigger deal, I think, or at least
Hmm.
as big a deal. And then they gave him Tim Burton the sequel, and he made this like weird gothic, kind of erotic kind of Batman movie that was like really hard to market to children and to like toy companies and stuff. And so they gave it to Joel Schumacher, who's just like they probably told him like make it as goofy and campy as you can. Like we got to sell this stuff. And then Batman Forever, it made money, so they're like, all right, we're gonna do it again, Batman and Robin, and like that one was really geared towards kids. Like I remember the toys for that shit.
Oh, same. I think I tried to collect those as a kid. Like, I think the marketing for Batman and Robin to me was probably the best to me because that was the one I was like, yo, I gotta get this. And Batman '89 also like the marketing for it was
Oh
pretty
yeah,
phenomenal.
yeah. Going back and looking at the marketing for it, like it's almost worth like making a video about because like I think they called it Batmania
Hmm.
because like the hype for the movie and I guess it goes to show you like the internet changes a lot of things, but it doesn't change a lot of things because when Michael Keaton was announced as Bruce Wayne, like people were kind of like irked, like how they were with Ben Affleck or Robert Pattinson. They're like, dude, this guy can't play Batman.
Mm-hmm.
He's Mr. Mom. He's the dude from Beetlejuice. Like, what?
I think I think a dope actor that should have been in the Batman Forever should have been Johnny Depp. Should have just been Johnny Depp. I don't know why he wasn't in with
Wait, Johnny Depp as Batman?
as as what is it, Two Face? Two Face. I would have been interesting.
Like a
Would have been
younger,
interesting.
younger Two Face?
Yeah, younger Two Face compared to Tommy Lee Jones, who's just going batshit crazy in this movie.
Well, if you remember from Batman '89, Billy D. Williams played Harvey Dent. And
Yeah, he
apparently,
did.
Tim Burton wrote some drafts that had him as Two Face, as the main villain for uh, Batman
Mhm.
Forever. And then he dropped out, or studio. I don't. I'm not familiar with that, but he didn't do it, so that idea got scrapped. I would love a Billy D. Williams fucking Two Face.
Yeah,
Like I could just
I
see
would have
him,
enjoyed it.
like the one side's the charismatic, like, hello, what do we have here? And then the other side's like,
Ooh.
the creepy voice or whatever.
Mhm.
I don't know what Billy D.
Yeah,
Williams' creepy voice would sound like.
I think that was I think that like even then that wasn't putting the movie all the way because like you look at Tommy Lee Jones trying to play Two Face. He tried to show that other side, but he just like with Two Face, you need to show that he's two dimensional. Like he's two dimensional character. Like he's he's the Harvey Dent, and then there's the evil Harvey Dent. Whereas this movie, like there was more showing than telling of the Two Face. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah, the potential was there, but he just went.
Mm-hmm.
I think him competing basically with Jim Carrey, just chewing scenery, which is goofy ass dialogue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because like you have the scene where he's in his little house of gold where it's like white and black, but you don't see him struggle between the white and black. It's like white and black. You just see it. You just see the colors, and like he's like Two Face, ha ha ha. You get it. He has a house that is split. He has a cave that is split. Like
Yeah, like
his suit, which is split. That is like they're showing you everything about the character, really, where you don't hear the dialogue of him being those two different people.
imagine like in that world, like living in a room that's like split in half like that. Like one side's really
Mm-hmm.
nice and prestigious, the other side's like burnt to shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's so impractical, but I get it. You got to give it to the production design. They they
Oh
they
yeah.
poured their little hearts into it.
Oh yeah, they did a really good job. I think the costume design of Riddler was really dope,
Mm,
except for the last scene. The last scene was
well,
cringy
yeah, with
to
like the
me for that scene.
rhinestones on his. I didn't
Yeah.
I didn't like that like onesie jump outfit. I like the first outfit, yeah, like the original costume, with the
Mm-hmm.
little mask, the hat, the bowler hat, and the cane. Dude, the way he swirls that cane, like that's professional right there.
It was impressive. I was
I
like, damn, okay.
I bet Jim Carrey did that in at least two takes, maybe even just one.
Mm-hmm.
I could see it.
Like it looked like he had it down packed. Like it looked really good, and I love the costume design for a lot of the characters. Even the Grayson scene where they're like flying through the air, I really liked it. It just the color scheme. It's like telling you it's Robin without telling you it's Robin
Right. I mean, you're gonna find
until.
out, who the dick is eventually. Um, I mean, and I think the problem with Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey is like Jim Carrey, he can perform with his body. Like that's what makes him a great, comedic actor. Is like he can
Hmm.
animate his body into, his face and everything. Where, and if you watch it, Tommy Lee Jones is basically trying to do the same thing. Because if you see Tommy
Yeah,
Lee Jones when he talks, he's moving all over the place. He's doing like a slants and fucking he's bending all over the place when like he really should be like the more or less like stoic crazy instead of the manic
yeah,
crazy. You know what I mean?
yeah. They both were exaggerated crazy.
So you would say a Johnny Depp for a kind of a younger Two Face?
A younger Two Face to kind of like, because that was my problem with the two characters, that they were both too over exaggerated. They were both like you said, like they were both trying to move a lot, and do a lot of expressive faces, trying to like just prove that they can outdo each other in terms of like expression. And like I think Johnny Depp would kind of bring that role down and kind of show the difference between Two Face and Riddler. Like they're both crazy, but they're both two types of crazy. If they were the same crazy, you wouldn't get as much fan love for either character.
No, yeah, I totally agree. I mean, it would just make more sense for, Two Face to be more like fact orientated.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And where
Mm-hmm.
like his crazy comes out is in terms of like, the binary problems of his face and like his psyche and stuff like that. So like he could be totally, fact oriented and methodical and stuff, and then on the other side that's when like the violent side comes out and he could be a little bit more manic. But like with Tommy Lee Jones's Two Face, he's literally just like the same character,
Yeah.
throughout, just over exaggerated.
Yeah. To me, I think Riddler and him are almost the same exact character, except for one does riddles. That is
And like
kind of it.
not even good riddles.
Mm-mm.
Like these feel like riddles like found in the back of like a riddle book. You know those old riddle books you'd get at like see at the dollar store.
Yeah.
Like
As, and to me, he didn't tell that many riddles. He more like shows you more riddles than tell you.
right, wasn't there only like two packages that had the
There was
riddles?
like four.
Four, but like still like, and it wasn't really indicative of his character. Like if you took the
Yeah.
like those four riddles out, like would he still really be the Riddler? You know what I mean?
Yeah, cause that was my problem with him being Riddler is that whenever I've seen like Riddler adaptations, like he never told Batman that, yo, I'm Edward Nigma. I'm not. I am the Riddler. Whereas this one, he was like in every note, it was getting to the point where, yeah, I'm Edward Nigma.
Right. Enigma, Edward Nigma. Like, okay. And all right, let's talk about his plan. So his plan is these boxes that basically just take over people's minds, right? Or not even
Hmm.
take over, they just like take information. Like that's all Riddler wants. Like that's his motivation. He just wants everything, like all the information.
Well, it didn't really point out until the end where he was like, we can get bank information, credit card numbers, and like then that made more sense. It made more sense why he did it. Like I put that together like before I even got to the end. Was like, oh yeah, he can get bank cards, credit card numbers. Like
Okay,
that's that's the only part to take away from
here's what they could have and probably should have done is kind of introduce that earlier and introduce that concept of Riddler is taking all this information and feeding into his brain. So he's essentially just getting just really, really smart, smarter and smarter and smarter. And at some point, he even outshines Two Face and like kind of shoves him to the side. And then the big confrontation with him and Batman is not really necessarily a battle of like, uh, you know, punch, punch, pow, pow. It's more or less like Batman's got to outthink Riddler, who's now insanely intelligent. You know what I mean? Like, that just seems like if you're going to do that whole brain drain, whatever fucking thing, like at least make it more logical in terms of like what he's trying to do with it. You know what I mean? Like him just
it. Yeah,
getting
because
oh
that was
bank information, this and that. Like that's Batman 66.
yeah, because that was the part where I thought like I was like, oh, so he's trying to get smarter, but that's something that's never really pointed out in the film that he gets smarter. You just get like him going like looking through the brains of people to look for Batman, which made sense when he was trying to make a deal with Two Face, but in terms of like him as a character, it made no sense why he didn't get smarter, I should say.
Right. And like have that be a part of the conflict with Batman. But
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
that's just me.
No, you're completely right. I think they missed a lot on these two villains as characters. Like, I think what they tried to do was this is a Batman movie, but that's kind of the basis of the movie. This is a Batman movie, and the villains in it are your tech, your usual villain characters that are Robin Banks and shit like that. Like, there's not a lot special about these two villains. Whereas you get to the Dark Knight series and you get to meet Harvey Dent, who is his own villain, and you get Joker, who is his own villain, and like these are characters we can separate because their ideals were different. Where these two, you can rewatch the movie and say that their ideals are different, but you look at the core basis of both characters and it's like they're the same.
Yeah, I mean, like there's nothing to gain from their conflict with Batman. Like they try to do it at the end where they're like, "Oh, save the girl or save the boy wonder who's actually a 28-year-old man." Like that was it. Like that was the only conflict they had like in terms with Batman that like
Yeah,
it progresses the story. It does something with the story. Cuz everything before this is
yeah,
just like you said, Two-Face getting away, Riddler fucking with Batman, and like that's it.
yeah. And even then, like you look at what is it? Two Face trying to kill Batman. There was nothing really about it that was like I had to create something in my own idea when I was watching watching the movie that was like, oh, so could be a reason why he wanted to kill Batman. But there was no real reason he wanted to kill Batman.
Yeah, because Batman didn't save him at the court thing. Like, what? Yeah, there was no motivation really for why Two Face wanted to kill Batman. Like, if anything, you would want
Yeah,
to kill the mob bosses that put acid on his face.
yeah.
Like, and that's the thing is like the plot of this movie. What is all right? First of all, what is the plot of this movie?
Um, mm, a Batman is a Batman for I don't know.
That's what I mean. Is like there's not it's worse even in Batman and Robin, but in this movie it's really bad. Like there's no real plot. It's Batman goes through shit. Batman adopts grown man. Two villains team up, and meanwhile like a doctor's trying to fuck him. Like that's the movie. Like that's it, every major part of the movie that would I guess contribute to a basic plot point.
Yeah, there's not a lot about the movie that is an overall plot, and I'm starting to see similarities between this movie and the Batman.
Oh
For
no.
people who've seen it, you know what I'm talking about.
I can't wait to watch
If
it.
they, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, it's glaringly obvious. But if it's not, then it's just me. But I'm just saying that this movie is kind of it's a good movie to be nostalgic on, but it's not a good movie to be like it's a good example of a Batman movie.
Oh. I mean, but to tell you the truth, I mean, this is more of a Batman movie than like Batman Returns or Batman and Robin.
Yeah, but
Like
it's
we
like
get more scenes with Batman and he does feel like the actual protagonist than the other movies. Even Batman 89 kind of focused a lot more on Jack Nicholson's Joker.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, as Batman as a character, though, like, if you're looking for if you're looking for a man with the suit on, then yes, it's Batman. But if you look into a deeper dive into Bruce Wayne and Batman, it's like you
Mm.
get the moments, but you don't feel the moments.
No, yeah, they feel tacked on almost.
Yeah,
Like, oh,
it's like
we're
you
gonna
look at the
show a little
Bruce.
flashback of, you know,
Yeah, like you look at the Bruce Wayne part, like you don't really get those scenes of him trying to be Bruce Wayne.
right. And
You don't, you
Val
don't, you
Kilmer,
don't feel those moments.
he tries. He's a
Oh, he
great
tried.
actor.
I
And
think they gave him a shitty script to kind of deal with, like to kind of bring out that Bruce Wayne side, but you couldn't connect with it because some of it was there, some of it was not.
right.
The scene where he tries to bring in a kid who lost his parents, you don't feel that moment.
Mm-mm.
You don't feel it. You kind of
You
just
just see
oh
it.
yeah,
And
you're
you're like,
bringing him in.
oh yeah, your
Because
parents died.
you as the audience, you as the audience member, either you know the Batman story or you don't know the Batman story. And if you don't know the Batman story, you don't feel it. But if you do know Batman, you're like, oh, he's doing it because he was an orphan himself. Whereas a normie or person who wouldn't know it would be like, okay, you just adopted 28-year-old.
No, I get what you're saying, and especially with like 95 around this time, this is the only like third, yeah, this is the third live action Batman, after Batman 66. So like there would be a lot more normies who don't know his origins. We're still now it's in everyone's subconscious. Probably regardless if they've seen the movies or not. They know Bruce Wayne's parents are dead, and that's why Batman's got the big sad.
Yeah,
He's got the big sad and the
because
big mad, and that's why he dresses up like the big bad bat.
yeah, that's it. Whereas like this one, you don't get that. You try to get the Batman scenes where he's trying to be Batman, but he kind of can't. Like, like you don't ever get the scene where everybody's kind of afraid of him. Like he busts into from the glass to the floor to beat those guys, and people are cheering him on. Like, so to me, I don't think you really get any Batman scenes until that alley scene where Robin slash Dick slash Richard is fighting off those guys from those girls, where the guys in the alley go like, "Oh my God, it's Batman!"
Bro, what is with the
And
neon in this movie? Like,
I don't know,
I think the
ecstasy.
production designers like went to a rave and then came back and was like, this would be a really good idea for the set piece. Let's just put neon. They put neon on the guns. Isn't that like the
They,
opposite of what you would want to do as a criminal? To like really highlight the illegal weapon you're carrying?
dude, they put neon blue on the Batman mobile, or the Batmobile.
No, I'm actually
They
like
put
really
neon
bothered
blue on
about
it.
that. These guys have big ass weapons that have neon trimmed around them. Like, it's the same thing with like people who buy like golden guns. It's like, again, are you should probably hide the fact that you have a gun, like if you're a criminal. But like, what do I? I'm just a mad scientist. I don't fucking know shit. But
That those guns reminded me of the scene in Charlie's Angels Full Throttle. I don't know if you've seen it.
a long time ago, I don't even really
Like
remember that movie.
she had the golden guns, and she would it was like, why are these guns golden? And it kind of gives me the same vibes as this movie. Just stupid, just stupid things happening and characters acting
Uh,
so over dramatic
uh,
for absolute.
have you ever seen Chappie?
Is that robot movie?
Yeah, the robot movie in South Africa.
Yeah, yeah, I've seen it.
Dude,
Yeah.
with their colored guns, that's what that reminds me of, because it also pissed me off in that movie. Like
But
I have a problem with like bright colored guns. Like it just it fucks with me.
See, the part that pissed me off about the movie was at the very end where they're running down the tunnel, Batman and Robin with a bat signal.
Oh yeah, like and there you can if there's an obvious like fog machine, smoke machine in the background.
Yeah. That's what pissed me off.
I will say I do like Robin's costume.
Yeah.
I don't mind it, but again, it's on like a 28-year-old.
And for the people out there who say George Clooney is bat nipples Batman, you can suck a dick because this Batman movie had bat nipples in it
Oh
and they were
yeah,
stuck it.
yeah. This is where the infamous bat nipples came from, which is a interesting design choice, costume choice. Like,
Yeah, but my harp is if you're gonna say the George Clooney Batman, say the Bat credit card Batman. That one's more. That's where that he came up with on his own as Batman. That's what he did.
I feel like that's the general
Batman.
consensus when people talk about Batman Forever is like, it's not as bad as Batman and Robin.
Yeah, but they had a whole scene where he gets dressed and they show his ass.
Oh, and his dick. Like they zoom in on his bat dick. And remember, this is a kids movie that like highly advertised to children.
But why did they show his ass? Why did they show his dick? But you know what?
I think Joel Schumacher's kind of a freak. He's into
I really
neon
didn't want to
and
say anything.
black leather.
That girl was sleeping buck ass nude. He's just turned on. He was just turned on because it made no sense why she was sleeping buck ass nude. It made
Who
no sense.
Chase Meridian?
Nicole Kidman,
Yeah,
whatever. I don't know the character's name. I get Doctor. From when I looked it up, it was Doctor Chase.
Dr. Chase. I will say
So
like
she,
in this movie, this is the hottest I've ever seen Nicole Kidman cuz okay, like she's, but I never thought she was like hot, you know what I'm saying? And like this movie's like the only movie that I would probably consider Nicole Kidman hot in. That's just
see,
me.
that's that's probably that's how you feel about this. That's how I feel about Megan Fox and Transformers. And
That's the only movie you found her attractive in.
either that or Jennifer's Body, but anything after that, bloop, 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 bloop.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. But like my take on the movie is it's a good nostalgia movie, but and I think you can rewatch it, you can enjoy it, you can rewatch it with your kids. It's a good fun movie.
You talk about
But for
Batman Forever.
Batman Forever, but I can't say it's a great Batman movie.
Oh no, it's terrible.
Oh no. 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 It's a good kids movie. Yes.
Yeah,
Give me
yeah. It's not as kiddish as Batman and Robin, but like it's only missing it by like a hair, I'd say.
by a couple scenes.
Everybody, chill.
Because the amount of scenes where Batman runs, it's fucking hilarious. Or the
Seeing
fact that
Batman like do anything in the suit is honestly a little hilarious.
the scene where he falls down that little slide thing that what's it, Tommy Lee Jones gets him in when he's flying down. For one, I have to say, CGI wise, that was impressive. But two, that was fucking hilarious.
I mean, yeah, some of the CGI holds up, I'd say. A lot of it doesn't though. And
Oh no, no.
but the CGI in Batman and Robin is I don't know how they got worse, considering this was made like 2 years afterwards. So the CGI was just worse. And you gotta think like, Matrix was around the corner. Phantom Menace was around the corner. You know what I mean? Titanic was that year. Like there was good CGI, I guess, but just not for
What in
Batman.
this one? This one or Batman Robin?
Uh both, but I'm just saying Batman and Robin was closer to, you know, other movies with much better CGI. But they probably had bigger budgets and stuff.
I don't know. I can see people enjoying Batman Forever a lot more, and like Batman and Robin had a big budget on it. But I think but the budgets around The Matrix, I don't think was as big as Batman and Robin. So I think the fact that The
Hold
Matrix
on.
had better.
I'm going to look it up right now,
Okay,
and then
okay.
we will say goodbye. But
Cause what?
I enjoyed this movie, but I think it's one of those movies I'll rewatch like every 10 years, if that.
It's
It's so goofy.
it's a good. I enjoyed it for rewatching it from when I was a kid. I probably haven't seen this movie in like what 10 to 15 years. I haven't seen it. It's been
Oh
a
my
minute
God.
since I've seen this movie.
So, The Matrix
What?
was made on a $63 million budget. Do you want to guess Batman and Robin's budget?
What?
125 million.
I told you.
That is no, dude, they made a better looking movie. I mean, then again, 2 years later, but still, damn.
God, I still told you. I was like, Batman and Robin probably had a bigger budget because it already had a crowd.
Yeah, but even with the bigger budget, like I bet you a good chunk of that just went to Arnold.
Yeah, but you look at like so many. They did so many things in that movie that it was kind of like I'm not like I feel like that movie is rushed a little bit.
Well, and that's what I mean is that like 125 million and that's how it looks. Oof. Big oof. Like it kind of feels like there might be a little skimming off the top of that. Or like I said, a good portion went to just Arnold being in it.
I could see that because Arnold was even wasn't that after Terminator?
Oh, way after Terminator.
Oh, so yeah, it was definitely Arnold took a fat chunk of that fucking check.
Well, yeah, at this time he was basically what The Rock is now.
Yeah, but better, a lot better,
Yes.
a lot
Yes.
better,
I would.
lot. Because like I think The Rock is getting a lot of roles because of typecasting
Right.
more than like Arnold. I think you get Arnold because that's Arnold Schwarzenegger, where you get The Rock, where it's like he'll play The Rock.
Pretty much like the way I see it is more or less like who has more iconic roles? Arnold. Whereas like the iconic roles of The Rock is like who? The Scorpion King?
Scorpion King, The Walk Down, Walking Tall.
Well, that
Um,
character no one remembers their name. They
no,
just
they
know
don't.
The Rock is in it and he's got a big block of wood. Maui. But you see what I'm saying? Like people remember the T-800. People remember Duke from Predator. People remember Conan or you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see.
Where like
It's
I don't know any of the
yeah.
Rock's roles, their character names because it's just The Rock.
You know The Rock because of the wrestling. The Rock.
Do you smell what
That's
he's
all you gotta
cooking?
know. You can't smell what this movie was cooking though.
Because it smelled like shit. All right. Well, thank you all for listening. And we will see you all next time. Say bye-bye.
Gang, gang, deuces.